जय जगन्नाथ।
डॉक्टर आनंद कुमार जी से कि वे भी अपना स्थान ग्रहण करें।
The lotus, the national flower of India, represents our history and culture and symbolizes spirituality, fruitfulness, wealth and knowledge.
Namaskar. Today's guest.
G20 जो कि ऑडिटोरियम में हो रहा था, इसमें बहुत अच्छा लाइन VC सर ने बोला, नाउ इट्स नॉट द सर्वाइवल ऑफ फिटेस्ट, रेदर इट्स सर्वाइवल ऑफ वीकेस्ट एंड इंडिया विल बी द वॉइस फॉर द वीक। सच ए लर्निंग डे। चिकुसर मोरिया।
डॉक्टर आनंद कुमार जी से कि वे भी अपना स्थान ग्रहण करें। धन्यवाद सर।
Good morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor, respected dignitaries on the dais, teacher on the dais, and all the research scholar and fellow students. I, Kaushki Parhar, and my co-anchor Khyati Pal welcome the august gathering to today's program on G20 University Connect.
शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते। दीपो ज्योति परम दीपो ज्योतिर्जनार्दन दीपो हर्तुने पापम संध्या दीपम नमोस्तुते। जो शुभ करता है, कल्याण करता है, आरोग्य रखता है।
World's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the fifth largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from challenges. The lotus, the national flower of India, represents our history and culture and symbolizes spirituality, fruitfulness, wealth and knowledge. And that's the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design rendered in saffron, white, green and blue is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023.
Senior colleagues and my dear students, I extend my heartiest welcome to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor chiku ji, who could not make his physical presence today in this gathering on account of being less on health. I am sure, like me, all of you must be missing Sir on this occasion. However, he has been kind enough to have agreed to address us in online mode, and very soon he will be here with us. We are indeed lucky to have you, sir, as our leader. And sir was quite emphatic that the program must go on 6th March itself, though I was little apprehensive about in view of the coming Holi on 8th March. that many of the students would be leaving. But Sir was quite determined about it that we should go with the program on 6th March itself. And here we are today. And I think Sir was quite visionary in this sense. And the overwhelming presence of the students, our teachers, and the non-teaching staff as well, makes it clear that Sir was right that we should go with the program on this day itself. So I must congratulate Sir for his determination and visionary leadership. I extend my warm and cordial welcome to Dr. Rajan Suresh Ratna Sir, Deputy Head, Senior Economic Affairs Officer, United Nations, SCAP South and Southwest Asia Office, New Delhi, for having agreed to deliver his special lecture on India's G20 presidency today in this gathering. It's a matter of great pleasure to have you, sir, with us, amongst us. I welcome you once again on behalf of the university. Welcome to Dr. Rahul, consultant RIS, who was throughout in communication with me towards my endeavor to organize this event and the subsequent lecture today. Welcome to Professor S.K. Samdarshi sir and Dr. Anurag Linda for having agreed to deliver their special remarks on India's quest for energy security and sustainable development respectively. I also extend my heartfelt welcome to my respected senior colleagues, Professor R.K. Dey sir, who is Director IQ.
Am I audible to you all? That's good. Namaskar. Today's guest, I welcome Dr. Rajan Suresh Ratna, the Deputy Head and Senior Economic Affairs Officer of UN South-Southwest Asia Office. Dr. Alok Gupta, the Coordinator, Mr. Rahul Ranjan, an official of RIS, all our statutory officers, the deans, the directors, heads of the department, faculty members, the supporting and technical staff of this university, and especially the scholars and the students for whom this event is organized. Thanks to all the students participating here and listening to this deliberation or a speech on this by a very renowned person of international relations. We have in our university like departments like international relations, economics, and many more subjects, and the subjects which are covered under this G20 summit, like energy, like environment, water, etc. And as we all know that the world is facing a very tumultuous time or a phase, there is a change in the global power equation. Hunger and poverty is looming large because of pandemic. Across this atlas, if we look at this statistics given last week, I found that there are there are 55 countries and around 20 million people who are starving for food. It has become a crisis because of climate change, maybe because of the supply chain disruption. Similarly, there are 75 countries which are facing a debt crisis. Debt crisis that we witnessed sometime back in Sri Lanka, that we see in Pakistan. So, like that, debt crisis may be because of the mismanagement of their economy, especially during the time of COVID. It may be because of that, as we all know, that is being discussed, because of war and conflict.
Speedy health recovery. and may you continue to smile as you are smiling on the screen. Professor Gupta, also Professor Hari Kumar, Dr. Rahul Ranjan from RIS, and some of my fellow panelist colleagues, including one of my schoolmates, Professor Sandarship, and Dr. Linda. Good morning, everybody, and first of all, let me thank RIS and Central University of Jharkhand to host me and give me the opportunity. I think all of you would not have known I also belong to Ranchi, and so it gives me an immense pleasure to come back to my hometown and then speak on something, a work which we are doing as supporting the government of India on this G20. It is also immense pleasure to see the theme of today's G20 University Direct, which talks about engaging youth minds. You know, India is a country which got independence 75 years ago, and many of you would also know UN also has suffered, traveled 75 years. So both of us were born in 1947. Still, India in the world is seen as a young and a vibrant country because the average age of Indians, the country, is still young. So it's a very vibrant country which has
availability and affordability. These are the two things. But as a producer, somebody sees it in a different manner. For example, if I quote the longest serving petroleum minister of Saudi Arabia, what he told? He told that in 1973, when Arab-Israeli war was going on, and what he told was the Stone Age did not end because the world ran out of stone, and the oil age will end long before the world runs out of oil. Means anyway it is going to end. He was ready for that, and that was the time when oil prices were going up like anything. And that was the time when Saudi Arabia started becoming an economic power. That was the time. And then at that time he told this particular thing. So oil crisis, 1970s, that has given a kind of energy security issue came to the fore. Now energy security issues have different connotations. As I mentioned, depending upon who you are, a consumer or a supplier, you will have different kind of connotations. Now, initial connotation was the availability of oil. That was the thing, because oil was becoming very costlier. So that became a kind of first issue. Then became the issue of energy security, but supply what came into, because in 2012, Somalian pirates, they started hijacking oil tankers. Then its meaning changed. It is the energy supply security which has become an important thing. Right? It has kept on changing. The next change took place very recently. In fact, if I say so, even Ukraine-Russia war, it has changed. And many of you, if you see it very carefully, most of the wars which are being fought in the world are around energy.
How to develop in this era of climate change. So basically I'll be talking about climate change issues and India's quest for sustainable development. But before that, if you want to act in this era of climate change, then we should know actually when this climate change started. We started recognizing that climate has changed recently, but climate change, if you see, started changing during the Industrial Revolution. In that time, demand was going up because population was going up at that point of time. So industries, they started to produce more and more, and for that they adopted steam engines, because that was the only engine at that point of time. And they started using fossil fuel at that point of time. And when they started using this fossil fuel at that point of time, they started achieving the target of production, but they were unaware that by using this fossil fuel, one day it will lead to global warming. So, when using fossil fuel, basically greenhouse gases are released, like carbon dioxide is there, and nitrous oxide is there, and also methane is there. That is not directly related to fossil fuel burning, but these are greenhouse gases that were released during the Industrial Revolution. And due to this greenhouse gases, what happened? It started to change the energy budget of our globe. Energy budget of the globe means the energy that is coming inside our globe, and generally during normal situation, this energy it is radiated back in the atmosphere and finally towards the outer space. But due to these greenhouse gases, what happened? That these energies that were supposed to be radiated back, it got trapped inside our globe, and finally our average temperature started to rise up, and finally it led to global warming. And if we see that from Industrial Revolution till now, the average temperature of the earth. So when we talk about average temperature, it's basically the surface temperature we are talking about. It has risen up to 1.1 degrees centigrade, and it is predicted that it may go from 1.4 to 4.8 degrees centigrade till 2100. So this is about climate change that happened. But now we should consider about one new thing, that is regional climate change.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So we have come from long distance from considering the decision making in the multilateral and international organization, from considering the Ukraine and Russian problem. But on the same side, if we check on the west side, means US, they are always giving a blank check and poking all the countries in the same manner, and coming in the same bench like Russia is considering the global UN global power and considering the weapons. But as we are seeing the peace country and Panchsheel Yojana, we always admire the Panchsheel Yojana, sir. So how can we deal it? But on the other side, we have internal problem also, like not considering the food security, but interstate balancing problem also there, government issue also there, and there again a lot of problems are not related, so we can.
Yes. Another question? Yeah.
First of all, greetings to everyone present here. My name is Prateek. I am a student of Department of Life Sciences. So my question is very simple. As we've seen, the world has changed and the global order is changing. A very simple question that we need to keep in mind is that the approach with which we move ahead. So my question basically is that through this G20 presidency, are we going to see a change in the resource bifurcation of policies, or are we going to see any new policies replacing the older ones, keeping in mind the case in point, the energy crisis going on in Europe?
Yeah. Another question? We can't hear you.
We can adapt these techniques, traditional techniques, and
or a leadership in the present world also becomes very, very important. And the countries and their leaders always are apprehensive, tentative, and looking forward to that their image, either as a leader or a country, should not be portrayed as a negative. Having said that, as I was talking about, in Indonesia there was an attempt to bridge this between Russia and Ukraine. The challenge is you have to talk to Russia because Ukraine is not a member of G20. So if Russia could be neutralized or be convinced, and that can happen through talks only, because we have seen NATO or US or EU how they tried to take sides with Ukraine, but it did not resolve the conflict in that. And mostly with the time passing, the effect of war is that the petroleum prices increased. With the rise in petroleum prices, the food inflation, the food prices, other prices started increasing. The countries like Ireland, like Maldives, like Sri Lanka, which are dependent on
एरिया में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन के लिए आए हुए हैं और जहाँ उस स्थान का नाम है पकरी परवाड़ी. तो आफ्टर एक्सकैवेशंस ऑफ सम कोल माइंस डीप बोरिंग हो चुका है, जिसकी वजह से वहाँ के जो अराउंड एरिया है वो बिल्कुल कृषि क्षेत्र था, अब वो बिल्कुल सुखाड़ में बदल गया. सुखाड़ होने की वजह से अब वहाँ की जो कृषि होता था वो घट गया और पूरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हजारीबाग में उसका सप्लाई होता था वो भी घट गया. तो इसको भरपाई करने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? दूसरा सर, जो एक्सकैवेशन के बाद गड्ढा हो जाता है, कहीं पहाड़ बन जाते हैं और उसका दिशा बदल जाता है. ओके, सो बस मुझे ये बता दीजिए कि यहाँ का जो एक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का प्रॉब्लम है, दूर दराज के लोगों को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं मिल पाता. जहाँ भी एक्सकैवेशन होता है वहाँ से क्या हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस करने का कोई चांस बना सकते हैं और यूनिवर्सिटी के लोगों को वहाँ कैसे इंगेज कर सकते हैं? थैंक यू.
And if I can put Palestinians theory into that, core countries are there, periphery countries are there, periphery countries are there, and the most important thing that I can see between all these countries is well discussed topic, the digital divide. So are we going to talk about, as being the president of this year of the summit, are we going to discuss about the digital divide issue this time? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, sir, you have a lot of questions to answer and more difficult questions.
I will use my discretion in keeping it short. चलिए पहले आपकी एनटीपीसी हजारीबाग वाली बात से शुरू करते हैं. ये एक चैलेंज है, लेकिन जो कागज या जो लॉ कहता है या जो कानून कहता है, जब तक भी ये करते हैं तो उसका एक पर्यावरण का जो इन्वायरमेंटल एंगल है उससे क्लियरेंस होती है. होता यह है कि इनको कंडीशनल दिया जाता है कि अगर आप ये काम कर रहे हैं तो इसको आप इक्वलाइज या न्यूट्रलाइज ऐसे कराएंगे, बट उसकी प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग नहीं हो पाती है. और खास करके जब पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्स होते हैं तो उनके लिए सारे गवर्नमेंट्स थोड़े रिलैक्स हो जाते हैं मॉनिटरिंग वाले में. और यहाँ पे मुझे लगता है कि सिविल सोसाइटी या सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स का बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट योगदान है उसको लोगों की नज़रों में लाने का. दूसरा आप कहते हो कि नहीं है, बट कई चीज़ें हैं. अभी 2-3 चीज़ें जो होती थी, इवन व्हेन मैडम टॉक्ड अबाउट एनर्जी एंड लुकिंग इनटू रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी. One of the things hydroelectricity or constructing dam at hill area, again the same, definitely environment clearance would have been taken. That is a safe presumption, otherwise it will not happen. Now whether it was a very sound inspection done or not done, that the time will tell, but we have our own apprehension, you have your own apprehension, so that is perfectly fine. It depends on how we argue, in the sense that okay, Rishikesh had happened, but there were 10 such dams in India and 100 such dams in the world, but no disaster happened. So which side we want to take it, right? But still, I think at a rural level, जैसे आप हजारीबाग की बात कर रहे हैं या कहीं गाँव तक नहीं पहुँचा, छोटे छोटे लेवल पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को अब धीरे धीरे ये प्रमोट करेंगे कि विलेजेस में भी सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप से क्या आप अपना एनर्जी का उत्पादन कर सकते हो. और खास करके सोलर पैनल्स, स्ट्रीट लाइट्स अगर आप देखें बड़े सारे शहरों में मैंने देखा है, गाँवों के साथ में उसका सोलर पैनल लगा हुआ। तो जिन गाँवों में बिजली नहीं है और खास करके इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस के बाद जबकि वो सब्सिडाइज भी कर रहे हैं, गाँवों में जहाँ पर बिजली की आपूर्ति नहीं है वहाँ पे अगर इस तरह के पैनल लगाए जाए, बायोगैस का उत्पादन
For essay writing competition, Sneha Mazumdar, Monica Yadav, Srishti Gupta. Poster writing competition, Rohan Kumar Adarsh, Department of Physics, Salini Badwa, Department of English, Supriya, Department of Environmental Studies, Salini Kumari, Department of Chemistry, Rahmat Ali, Department of Political Science. Now I request Animesh Riva, Department of International Relations, Manisha Sarpati, Department of School of Education, Department School of Education, Student Collective, Shruti Kumari, Department of Anthropology.
And after Corona. Now we feel that the world is one, and we have to give something, to take something from other world, other countries. So understanding the need of our country, understanding the need of the human is very, very important, and that is what the university is. The university, as we all know, it is the temple of learning. Whatever the things, whatever the innovation, research, all the things will start from the university. And I think our students, with our disciplines, the departments which we are having, the courses which we are running, the research scholars which we are having an enormous potential to participate in various 20s, and our students can take this opportunity. I'm happy to note on this occasion that School of Humanities and Social Sciences has taken this initiative on the request of the university, on the request of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and organized this event with the support of Research and Information System for Developing Countries under the Ministry of External Affairs and Government of India. As we have come to this end of this event, it's my privilege and the honor to have been asked to propose this vote of thanks. I, on behalf of Central University of Jharkhand and my own behalf, extend a very hearty thanks and express a deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Rajan Sudesh Ratnam, Deputy Head and Senior Economics Affairs Officer, United Nations, USCAP, South and Southwest Asia Office, New Delhi, for his gracious presence and delivering special lecture on G20 India Presidency in such an insightful, perceptive and thought-provoking session, and he also answered the various questions and answers from our students and the teachers with patience. I also like to extend my hearty thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sri Bhushan Das, for his special remarks on this occasion and all his support, guidance and leadership for organizing this special lecture.
एट लास्ट नेशनल एंथम हुआ, फिर हम चले खाने के लिए। बहुत भीड़ था, एट लास्ट मिला। हु आर द मेंबर, नेशन लिस्ट यू कैन चेक आउट। ये टोटल प्रोग्राम शेड्यूल था। रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा लगा। फिर लास्ट में हम हमारा ई ब्लॉक हॉस्टल को आ गए।